In today's video, what we are going to do is break down the difference between Bronny James as well as Mikey Williams. These are two great high school basketball players in the United States. And of course, what we want to look at today is their passing ability. Do they pass the ball, or are they all about highlights? We're also going to be breaking down their ability to get to the rim and their ability to create shots for themselves and others. Let's get down, let's check this out. So one thing that you will find with Mikey Williams is his ability to just absolutely destroy teams by just scoring, raw scoring and shooting ability. Right here, the other team was playing a zone defense. We can see that because these two players are guarding a zone right here, and especially we can see that he is the middle center type player. And of course, what we see is Mikey Williams is a very smart player. He understands that if you can attack one of the gaps, not necessarily by driving down the gap, but just by standing maybe a bit deeper than normal, because of course NBA range would be roughly around there in this court, we can see that he is able to catch players and teams off guard with his ability to just shoot from unlimited range. Something else that really sets him apart from other players is his ability to shoot off of a screen. He is able to know that he is about to shoot. He keeps his head up, and then at this point he is starting to look at the rim. He plants his heel, and then he plants his toe over here. Yes, his knees do come together, but that's totally okay, because here what we do see is it's the same idea as when you're jumping for a dunk. If you're going off 2 feet, you want to go heel toe, and that's going to allow you to get higher up into the air, but also that's going to allow you to have a faster release. Now his release is and his shooting form is kind of interesting because it does go over top of his head and not over top of his elbow. However, he is still able to get that shot off over defenders, and he is still able to make that shot. It actually gets to a point with teams where he can actually do a quick jab fake towards one side or even a shot fake, and players will start to run out to try and stop that from happening, as we see with player 5, and then he's able to attack that rim, do a quick step back, which is a very good move, and he's able to go up for a shot from the mid-range without really anyone contesting it. Meanwhile, players like Bronny James, he is a bit different. He doesn't go out and search for shots for himself. However, here he is able to really create a shot for himself by finding an open area on the court, and he's able to capitalize on defensive mistakes like that. He also is a very good player playing inside of a team concept offense, where we have that kick out pass, the extra swing, and then he's able to get that shot off and know when is a good idea and a good time to shoot that 3-point shot. Other times when he's got a wide open shot, what he will do is to take an actual dribble inside of the 3-point line and take that shot. Meanwhile, Mikey Williams would have just taken that shot from 3 and banged it either way. But Bronny James is a very smart player. He understands that even getting a closer shot is a higher percentage, and he's willing to take that. That is actually a professional level thinking, and he's able to capitalize on that. Now with Bronny James, his passing ability is off the chart. He is able to run the fast break. He's able to find the open player for 3. He's also able to drive and attack the rim, attack the zone, what seems to be, or at least a help side defender, pass off that ball to a teammate who can finish around the rim. Now sadly, I am unable to find, after 45 minutes of footage, I was unable to find any passing from Mikey Williams. Does this mean that he's a bad passer? No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. However, it does show online he has averaged 4.9 assists this season, but it is kind of concerning how I cannot find a single highlight of him passing the ball. Now, attacking the rim, what he is able to do is outstanding. He is able to finish around players. He knows the angles. He knows when he's attacking this side, this player is literally facing that way. He understands, hey, if I can bring that ball over my head, away from the outstretched arm of that defender, I literally have nobody blocking my shot. I basically have somebody boxing me out here as well as over here. And because of that, I can finish around the rim without anyone really contesting it. Now, this is the concerning part, what I'm talking about with passing. He has his own defender, he has another help side defender, and a second help side defender. He literally is getting triple teamed in this clip. He'll still put up that shot. He is still going to make that shot. However, I'm going to say right now, in the NBA, when he does make it to that level, this is going to be a lot harder of a shot to take. And I'm not too sure if this is something that NBA scouts would look at, but the fact that he has a player wide open here and a player wide open there, especially this player over here who is even closer with nobody defending him, that would have been a much better decision than making a tougher shot like this. And we know that player is here because we have player 15 who is popping out for defense. We have player 4 who is popping out to this side. And then we have this guy right here who is much taller than this defender here, who is boxing out that player for the missed shot. But instead, this could have been just a quick pass down to this player for an easy shot. And I mean easy because there's a whole probably 6, 8, or 9 inches difference between those two players. This is another example of where he is just a phenomenal player around the rim, but he has multiple defenders where he could have kicked out for an easier shot. This now comes into my idea of a 3-point shot that's wide open is much better than a layup that is contested by 1, 2, 3, and even 4 players. Now, mind you, none of them defensively are any good versus Mikey Williams, but we do have a player out here who is wide open. This guy, he could have set up for a shot out here. This could have been an easy tic-tac-toe. He could have gotten an open 3 or could have swung it to this guy over here who could have been over here for an extra possible opening. This could have been an easy pass, option for a 3, swing, option for a 3 for this guy, swing again for an option for a 3 for this guy. See what I'm talking about? There is multiple options that he is missing out on because he's getting quadruple teamed because teams are trying to stop him around the rim. Now, I understand that no team is able to stop this guy, but at the same time, it would be nice to see because this quadruple team, if that happened in the NBA, he would be on the ground in most cases. And yes, it would have been probably a foul, but it's a much better choice to take a open 3-point shot over here than a contested 2-point shot with 4 players on you. Now, I just want to really show you something again. He is driving towards the net once again in this clip, but when he catches this ball and he lands, look at how he lands. Bent knee on his toes. This is going to allow him to attack that side. Now, when he lands like this, if you're the defender, so if you're somebody who is actually playing against Mikey Williams, if you want to be able to stop somebody like that, if they're landing on an angle, this foot is not going to give him any ability to attack that side. So what you need to do, what this guy needs to do, is to know that right now and to be able to land himself, get that left leg over to hop in front of Mikey Williams, because we know that if this leg is outstretched, he is going to attack that side, but instead that defender gets burned. And now it's just one-on-one against a much thinner, smaller player, and that's just going to be an easy shot every single time. Now, again, he has multiple players looking at him. He could have literally had a pass to 4 players, but at the same time, if I was Mikey Williams' coach, I would say to take it on this player every single time because you're going to win that battle. Now we have a defender who is trying to defend Mikey Williams in the fast break. We have Mikey Williams coming down pretty much like 70% speed. He's able to switch from 70 to 100% very quickly, and he already has that ball into his left hand. We already know that there's no defenders on this side. This player should have been trying to force Mikey Williams towards the middle of the key because at least then you can get 2 or 3 hands on that ball. But instead, this player decides to try and play him straight up and on his right side where there is no ball. So that's essentially forcing this player towards that left side, and that's where he gets burned. And Mikey Williams could have easily dunked this thing on that player, but again, multiple players looking at him here, he could have obviously kicked it out, but I would never suggest to do that when you have a wide open rim at your disposal. It's just crazy how much the defenders will pay attention to him and still not be able to stop him. So here's another option for him. He has a player running down. This player should have been trying to cut off this player, still continuing to drive towards the rim. It kind of looks like he does try to do that, but at the same time, it does sort of look like that player just stops and quits and knows that Mikey Williams is going to take it to the rim. Now, what I do like to see is that fake pass gets that player thinking it's going to be a pass and stops him, at least slows that defender down. But if that was a pass over to this player over here, that would have been a fantastic decision, especially here that we see that he is boxing out that player. This could have been a much easier pass, or at least a much easier shot on that side than an outstretched hand. But at the same time, there's nobody who can stop this kid. So again, even though he has passing options, there's nobody really there who can stop this kid. His footwork isn't all that bad either. We can see here when he's driving, he's able to do a quick spin move off of this player. Not exactly a type of move that is going to be very consistent with most players, but if you're stronger than your defender like Mikey Williams is in most cases, then at least this is a great option for you. What should have happened is this player over here should have been sprinting his butt down to this corner so that now when Mikey Williams does that spin, he has that double team. This player, defender-wise, would have come down to try to stop him. If his teammates know that he was going to pass, this could have been an easy assist for Mikey Williams for a three-point shot. Again, an open three-point shot is a much better option than a contested two-point shot against 2 or 3 defenders. Meanwhile, to get to the rim, we have Bronny James, who likes to finesse that ball just a bit over top of the defenders with different types of floaters. He doesn't always look to try and take contact, which is interesting to me because that is something that we would see at the NBA level as getting blocked potentially by somebody like in the old school days, Dikembe Mutombo, but Bismack Biyombo in these days, that would have been an easy block for a player like that. So I would like to see him try to take more contact when going towards the rim, but it's always nice to see those floaters. He's also able to receive the kick-out pass, go into almost like a quick shot / drive fake, and then attack that rim. And again, he does stop and does that quick floater. He's able to then follow his miss, which is something that I really, really like to see. I really like to see players follow their shots, especially when they know that they're going to miss it, or at least think that they might miss it, because then they can get a quick tip back basket, and they can get more points that way. He is a player who will finesse that ball into the rim. He will do a lot of floaters, but he will finish very strong. But again, very finesse, very soft hands around the basket. I like to see that. It's rare to see top-level 5-star recruits really finessing that ball around the rim. Usually what you'll see is them just trying to slam it down. We see that with Jalen Green. We see that with Mikey Williams and many of the other great players at the high school level. Now, really quickly, I don't want you to think that this is a hit job on Mikey Williams. This is not. I just wanted to point out some of the weaknesses as well as some of the strengths that both have. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Make sure to go check out all of the equipment that I use down in the description below. I hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys again next time.